Right, it feels quite personal. Hi girl, I'm self-employed. Sometimes I find it difficult to find the motivation to find work for myself and challenge myself. So much of my work requires me to be creative and then push it out into the world, which can be exhausting when I face so much rejection from clients. I love what I do and I won't stop, but how do I stay motivated so I can reach my full potential? Being motivated in a creative industry is one of the hardest things. It is literally like a battery that you have to make sure that it is full. I struggle with this on the weekly. This is such a loaded thing for me. Actually, I have so many things to talk about. Right. So this is something I struggle with all the time, given that my job is fully creative and additionally taking on the podcast as an extra workload. So my biggest tip for this is getting yourself in some sort of routine, finding out what works best for you. I'm going to treat it like you're producing. Have you said what you need? You're self-employed, find work for myself. I'm going to treat it like you're influencing just so that I can relate to it. Get yourself in a routine of creating content. Work out what the process is. So for me, the process is reading through my inbox, deciding which one is going to work best, setting up, sitting down and filming it, editing it. 6 steps to create one video. I wrote a list of each one of those because the brain likes to feel like it's being fulfilled. So even me turning my light on and setting up my lights behind me, cross, done. I'm 3 steps in. I've not even started filming yet and I've already done 3 out of the 6 things. Or 4 out of the 6 things, you know? That's really great. And sometimes you don't want to do it, but I'm really sorry, but the be all and end all of it is if you don't do it, no one else is. That is the crux of being self-employed. It's beautiful in so many ways that I'm my own boss. I can choose what I want to do. I got up at 9:10 this morning, had a chocolate bagel, went for a flipping walk, came home, read a book. Now I only started work today at 12:30. And that's lovely. That's so nice. But I will still probably be working tonight at 10 p.m. That's just the life I chose. But it is all on me. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you start to take accountability for it, it almost becomes a bit more of a relief because you're not relying on anyone else to do that work for you. And I went through a really, really tough start of the year, had a lot going on. And to be completely transparent with you all, some really difficult, unexpected financial issues. And that I never saw coming because they don't teach you how to be self-employed in school. We're just learning as we go along, especially for the girlies. Like, I feel like lads are a bit more business minded sometimes. I'm a lot more emotional, whereas Jordan is very strategic with it. Whereas I feel like everything is a personal attack, which it isn't. And you get used to that over time. And I remember being like, I've let myself down. Like, how did I not know this was going to happen? And he was like, how did you expect to know it? You never knew. No one's ever told you. It's all a learning curve. And you can pass this information on to people who are going to be in your situation 2 years down the line or whatever it will be. I said, I can't do it, Jordan. I can't face this. I can't do it. And he turned to me and said, and it's annoying because he used my own line on me, which I'm so good at giving the one-liners. I really hate it when people turn it back around on me. He said, nobody is going to come and save you. No one's going to come and pick you up and take you out of a situation. You're the only one that can do that right now. This is the bit, he goes, and do you know why no one's going to come and save you? Because you've got to do it yourself, because you need to know how good it's going to feel knowing that you pulled yourself out of that. You're going to look back on this situation and think, I did that. No one did that for me. I'm strong. I'm bold. I can stick up for myself. I can do what is right for my business. And as soon as you get that in your brain, you almost have to just be like, right, here we fucking go. Let's shut off the side of me that is doubting myself or doesn't think I'm worthy of things and just get on with it. You know, there's so many people that just roll over, let the world happen to them. They hold the handrail the whole time through life. Nothing ever expands for them. They're not going to go anywhere because they aren't out of their comfort zone. You have to push yourself through your comfort zone. Sometimes that's going to land you in hell. But do you know what the thing about getting in hell is? You have to keep going through it or you'll just stay in hell. You have to keep moving. That goes for mental health, physical health, anything. You just have to get on with it, unfortunately. And I can give you tips. So getting on with it can look like filming one video for the day. Fine, that's today sorted. We'll worry about tomorrow. Baby steps, little things like that. I found for me that batch filming is really beneficial to me, which means that I film 9 videos in one stint, which some people are like, the fuck? But that just works so well for me because then for the rest of the week, I can do podcast stuff. I can do my own thing. I can go shopping. I can go travel. I can socialize with my friends because being self-employed is very, very lonely. I don't speak to anyone. If I didn't come to do the podcast today, I wouldn't speak to anyone until 7 o'clock at night when Jordan gets home. That's just how it is. And with the creativity side, these are the things that you have to be careful of because if you let your battery drain, I don't like burnout because I've experienced burnout and I think the term gets thrown around way too easily. Like going to one, I mean, everyone has a different level. Going to one social event and filming a video for the day isn't, if you're fully functioning, that isn't going to burn you out. The other side of things is, have you ever been in one of those situations where you're only charged to 20%? You just can't, I'm not going to get emotional. No matter what you do, your body cannot get past that 20% battery. But in that day, if you only give 20%, brilliant. You've given everything you had to give that day. So whether you're, for example, on Thursday, awful period pain. I've never experienced anything like that at all. I genuinely thought there was something seriously wrong with me. I lay on the sofa all day, which if you know me, that is not a thing I do. I've slept for the most of the day. I felt really bad about myself that I'd let myself do that. That's not what I've been brought up to do. I felt like I had just rolled over and, like I said, was letting the world happen to me. But I went to a gym that evening because I know that going to the gym can help period pains. Now, I've come to the conclusion that the only reason they tell you it helps with period pains is because it takes the pain from just one place on your body and makes the whole of your body hurt. But for the rest of the hours after that, I didn't have any period pains. I only had 20% to give and I gave it at the gym. I did one thing that day. I've really forgotten where I'm going with this, but I have been, trust me when I say I wish I could tell you some of the situations I've got myself in. No one was ever going to get me out of that but me. And to know what it feels like to be at rock bottom makes you realise that you will never let yourself get there ever again. And rock bottom looks very, very different for so many different people. To be transparent, when was this? 2021? Maybe 2022? I think it was 2021. I have never, ever wanted to die. I've never wanted to not be alive. But I didn't care if I lived at all. I didn't care what I did. I didn't feel like any of it had value, which I was doing I never did anything. I never did drugs. I never did anything like that. But I was being destructive because I didn't care. It felt like no one else cared about what I did. And it felt like I shouldn't care. I'd been doing that awful, awful bad habits for months and no one cared. So why would I care about myself? And it took one pretty serious event to happen to realise that the people that I was hoping was going to come and pick me up and carry me out of that, they weren't coming. Lizzie says the cavalry aren't coming. You are the cavalry. You've got to buck up and go. And that, I imagine that will resonate with a lot of people, especially people in their early 20s, because you're just sort of catapulted into life and be like, oh, be free. You don't really know what we're supposed to be doing. I'd lost all my jobs, which is something that I'd always put my mind on, my self-worth on. And sitting in therapy, telling, bless Karen, double R Karen, she's a great therapist. telling her that I don't see why I should be doing any. I don't get it. I don't understand why I'm doing any of this. Oh, to 3 years. No, it wasn't even 3 years later. 2 years later, to have the growth that I did, because I turned up every day and I filmed every day with no reward for a year. And that's what it is. It's just the incremental small changes to better yourself. This is really not relevant to the question anymore, but you hold the power to everything. I did a talk at a college. I spoke about the event plus your response equals the outcome. The only thing you can control in that situation is your response. Get on with it. However that looks to you. Stop relying on other people to fix your financial issues, to fix your creativity, to motivate you. The motivation comes from yourself. And as soon as you become intrinsic in that, no one can take that away from you because no one else is in control. It is you. You are your own superpower. You're your own biggest weapon because there ain't going to be anyone like you. No one's going to do it like you. They can try and copy, but you're always going to be one step ahead. And that is the strength in the whole situation.
Please fill my cup. Am I really asking for much? It's been a long week, I'm looking for fun. Please fill my cup. Find me under the sun. SOS, I'm just looking for a good time. Oh, 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 oh. And I'm singing like, whoa.